Did the Las Vegas Raiders front office finally wake up, or did we just pull off the biggest steal of the 2026 draft? Plus, are our undrafted free agents going to be the real heroes of this season? Buckle up and smash that like button because today was absolutely insane. Things went down in Vegas, and I've got a lot to unpack about this new Clint Kubiak era. If you thought John Spytek's job was done, get ready for what just leaked. Let's get into the video. The news blowing up the analyst desks today is our final draft grades, and man, John Spytek was not messing around. Giving it to you straight right off the bat. The Las Vegas Raiders walked out of this event with an overall B+ grade across most outlets, and I'm going to tell you why that is incredibly good. We needed a miracle to kick off the head coach Clint Kubiak era on the right foot, and the front office delivered an absolute feast in the form of 10 picks. First, the elephant in the room. The #1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana. A lock for an A+ grade. Did we know this was going to happen? Yeah. But seeing the franchise finally stop making excuses for uncertainty and draft the best player at the most important position in sports, it gave me chills. Mendoza is a born winner, and his impact in the locker room is going to be immediate. The stopgap nonsense is over. We have a real franchise QB. But Spytek's genius really shined in the later rounds. The guy worked magic. We traded up from pick 117 to 91 and snagged Traden Stukes, safety out of Arizona, in the second round. Another absolute A+. The secondary was a black hole in our defense, and we just grabbed the third best safety in the entire class. Then comes the third round, and business picked up again. We traded Tyree Wilson, cleared up some cap space, and brought in Kieron Crawford, edge out of Auburn. I admit I turned my nose up at first, but watching his tape, the kid crushes quarterbacks. He is the pure juice of aggression that the Raider Nation demands. Not to mention Trey Zune out of Texas A&M at guard. Short arms, yeah, but the guy has plenty of technique and could be a week 1 starter. Now, what made me lose my mind in the best way possible was the absolute steal of the century in the 4th round. Jermod McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee. Pure first-round talent falling right into our laps at pick 101. The media gave it a B grade just because of a scary knee issue, but if this kid stays healthy, the medical staff deserves a double bonus. Capping off the 4th round with Mike Washington Jr., running back from Arkansas, we secured a premium instant backup. The ball is in Kubiak's court now. We can't ignore the back end of the draft where we secured that much-needed depth. Dalton Johnson and Hezekiah Masses in round 5 are excellent projects for a needy secondary. And Malik Benson in the 6th round brings a deep threat that will open up the field for Mendoza. The only C grade was DT Brandon Cleveland in the 7th round, but let's be honest, the 7th round is a lottery ticket. Overall, the job was spectacular and the foundation is set. And if you thought the party ended in the 7th round and we were just going to rest, wait until you see what went down in the NFL underworld. The hunt for undrafted free agents. Those guys whose names weren't called on the big stage, but who walk into the facility with a chip on their shoulder. The Raiders signed 10 undrafted players, and the list just leaked. This is where the true gridiron prospectors make a difference, and we brought in some very intriguing pieces, to say the least. I'll get straight to the point. The name you need to remember is Roman Hemby, running back out of Indiana. Remember our QB Mendoza, the #1 star of the draft? Yeah, Hemby was his college teammate. Bringing in a guy who already has built-in chemistry with our new franchise QB is a massive masterstroke to ease the transition in training camp. On top of that, the front office went out and got receiver E.J. Williams. Guess from where? Also from Indiana. In other words, Kubiak is putting Mendoza's crew together in Vegas so the guy feels at home from day 0. I think this is fantastic for the offense's morale. Another thing that really caught my eye on this undrafted list was the blatant obsession with the trenches. We signed Isaiah Jota from BYU for the offensive line and brought in another pass rusher, Cian Sloan from NC State. And the funny thing is, we went after 2 guys from NC State this weekend, Brandon Cleveland in the draft and Sloan in the undrafted pool. Looks like the Raiders scouts camped out over there and really liked what they saw from their defensive aggression. And look at the audacity. 2 quarterbacks straight out of the undrafted pool, Sawyer Robertson from Baylor and Jacob Clark from Missouri State. The message from the front office couldn't be clearer. Mendoza is the undisputed starter, but we want an all-out bloodbath for the backup spot. It's going to be a dogfight in practice. There are no guaranteed seats for a lazy backup. We even went out and got a kicker from Hawaii, Kansei Matsusawa, and a long snapper, Tyler Duzansky, from Penn State. This proves that the new coaching staff is looking at special teams with a magnifying glass. It's no use having an explosive offense if the special teams unit chokes in critical moments. Also, keep an eye on cornerback Caleb Offord from Kennesaw State. A small school guy but with an insane wingspan. With the uncertainties we still have, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he becomes a coach's favorite. The reality is this class isn't just filler. There is raw talent here that will steal a spot from a lot of complacent veterans on our final 53-man roster. To sum up the madness, we had a flawless draft with Mendoza leading the charge, and a surgical post-draft focused on team chemistry and roster depth. The new era has started with the pedal to the metal. Now I want your brutally honest opinion down in the comments. If Jermod McCoy has issues with that knee right in week 1, do you think the front office was irresponsible for burning a 4th-round pick on him? Or did the risk of his absurd talent outweigh the gamble? Drop your answers below, smash that like button, and Raider Nation, I'm out.